Death Stranding on the beach is out, and as porters worldwide begin trekking across Hideo Kojima's newest adventure, all sorts of little secrets and discoveries are being uncovered. While much attention will be paid to the grand cinematic experience on display, Kojima also went ahead and stuffed Death Stranding 2 to the gills with little flourishes and details, some obvious and some very, very hidden. We've compiled a list of all the little details that help bring the world of Death Stranding 2 to life. From Easter eggs to ingenious gameplay we can't believe Kojima Productions thought to even add in the first place. So, let's get right into it. Here are 44 little details in Death Stranding 2. The best part of Death Stranding 2 is seeing how the natural world reacts with Sam, or vice versa. Given that this is a game about traversing the different biomes of Australia, Sam will naturally get dirty, and this will be reflected on his character model. He'll be covered in dirt, snow, and sludge after long journeys, which will require you to shower to clean off. It's not limited to just elements either. After an intense fight, Sam will also become covered by the blood of his enemies. While this may make him look very battle-hardened, it probably isn't how Sam wants to present himself when he's on deliveries, so be sure to clean off the blood in the shower too. When he's not covered in grime, even just exposure to the sun can affect Sam's appearance. He'll turn redder as he gets more and more sunburnt, to the point where he starts resembling a cherry tomato in the face. Taking a shower will clean Sam and heal his sunburn, so bathe regularly. However, if you take off your backpack before showering, you'll find that while you'll become clean, the backpack will stay dirty. Why you'd take your backpack into the shower with you is beyond me, but it's better than carrying around a dirty pack, I suppose. If you can't make it to the shower, hopping in a lake or a river will clean off some of the dirt up to the point you submerge yourself, meaning if you only dip your shoes in the river, your boots will become clean, but the rest of you won't. There are all sorts of different weather conditions in the world of Death Stranding 2, all of which hit in real time. The earliest natural event is the sandstorm, which severely impairs Sam's visibility, forcing you to rely on your Odradek scanner to scope out the terrain. When the storm gets particularly bad, you'll lose stamina and will need to hide behind large structures to shield yourself from the storm. Alternatively, you can use the wind force from the storm to make Sam run faster. Other natural disasters include blizzards that, like a sandstorm, will impair Sam's vision and slow him down. Plus, when Sam's too cold, his stamina will deplete faster than normal. If you're too high in the mountains, you'll suffer a stamina loss from the air being too thin, requiring Sam to wear an oxygen mask. Lastly, thunderstorms will strike Sam when he's out and about. The rain in Death Stranding 2 is known to degrade Sam's cargo and equipment faster than usual, so be sure to find shelter fast and watch out for lightning strikes. While I haven't seen anyone get hit by one yet, they can strike awfully close to Sam if he's not careful. What's more, you can even see weather events in real time from afar, meaning if there's a blizzard happening on a mountaintop, you can see it from the base of the mountain. Dust, rain, snow, and even chiral creatures build up on the screen when you spend too long in them, which adds to the immersive and cinematic approach Kojima takes with his games. If you're in the high heat of the desert for too long, you'll begin to see mirages of rivers flowing through the sands, but as you get closer, you'll realize that there's no water there. Sorry. Depending on which biome you're in, whether it's the hot desert or the freezing mountaintops, Sam will either take a cold shower to cool off or a hot shower to warm up. As you and other porters begin carving paths through the world of Death Stranding 2 to make deliveries, you'll find that regularly used paths become roads by themselves from being worn down, making them easier to traverse over time. Rivers will rise and fall with the rain. Some rivers become flooded under heavy rainfall, making them more difficult to traverse than under dry conditions. The iconic image of Death Stranding as a series is Sam carrying a stack of boxes on his back. That's because his porter job is inspired by the Japanese boka porter who transport boxes to homes that aren't reachable by trucks or cars. There are references to the boka in dialogues with other porters and the prepper, and even a boka skeleton for Sam to wear, which makes it much easier for him to traverse difficult terrain like rivers, inclines, and snow. One of the most useful vehicles is the pickup off-roader, which lets you haul tons of packages across long distances. Depending on how and where it's parked, Sam will change the way he climbs into and out of the driver's seat. Ramps are invaluable when it comes to getting your vehicle across large gaps, but depending on what vehicle you use to jump the ramp, whether it's a vehicle, the coffin board, or even just a skeleton on your legs, you can do some cool tricks and acrobatic jumps off the ramp. Some pickups aren't drivable because they belong to specific facilities. Weirdly, pickups that aren't owned by Sam or Drawbridge feature the logo of Yamato Transport, a real-life Japanese delivery company. There are numerous monorails you can build across Death Stranding 2 at set points, much like the roads you can build in Death Stranding 1 and 2. But the rails aren't just for trains, as you can use a zipline to attach yourself to a monorail pole to travel that way instead. And even though it might seem high up while riding the monorail, you can actually jump off mid-travel and land safely on the ground. If you're inclined to travel on foot, always remember to wear shoes and make sure to check their durability. Walking barefoot too long will eventually cause Sam's feet to bleed, which leaves a trail of blood behind. While you'll still be able to get around without shoes, Sam will refuse to run given how uncomfortable it is on his toes. In these moments, search out a piece of sandalwood to make some temporary shoes. If you choose to give Sam a rest while on the road, or leave your controller idle for too long, Sam will have a nice sit down to catch a breather, at which point a floating loo will appear over Sam's head as he dreams about her. While it might be fun to see how high you can stack boxes on your back, be careful of your surrounding, as tall stacks of boxes won't fit through certain doors and will instead topple over if they hit the ceiling, forcing you to pick them up again. There are special timed events set to specific dates, just like in the first Death Stranding. At the beginning of the game, you're asked to input your birthday. If you boot up the game on your special day, a unique cutscene will trigger where all of your friends and a very special enemy will wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
More than that, if you go out into the world and use the call out feature, other NPC porters will wish you a happy birthday.
Hello!
Your birthday isn't the only special day. Playing Death Stranding 2 on Christmas will add Christmas tree holograms to shelters and give NPCs little Santa hats to wear to celebrate the joyous occasion. If you don't want to wait for Christmas or your birthday, changing your PS5's internal clock to the correct date will trigger these events. While Death Stranding 2 isn't purely about combat, there are a ton of ways to fight BTs. Sam's blood already has anti-BT properties, making blood grenades lethal to BTs, but shooting a normal bullet through the blood cloud left behind the grenade will make them deadly against BTs as well. Guns aren't your only weapons in a fight. If you unlock the secret cutscene for the pizza chef, played by the Ghost in the Shell director, Mamoru Oshii, you'll unlock an entire new martial arts fighting style based around the delicious meal. One of your constant companions on the road is Dollman, who you can throw up high in the air to do some reconnaissance on enemy bases, but you can also throw him straight at an enemy to temporarily stun them. Unlike other weapons, Dollman is a living being, and he will eventually get mad at you if you throw him at too many enemies, or let him drop to the ground after a recon trip. If he's upset, he won't let you throw him for a while.
Put me down. I don't feel like it right now. Not now, Sam. I'm really not in the mood.
Bandits in Death Stranding 2 are often equipped with stun rods that blast waves of electricity. However, if you have the electric shock absorber add-on for your backpack, you can turn their electric attacks into power for your battery. Boss fights return in Death Stranding 2, and while you should have all the weapons and tools to get through them, some are tough and can cause you to die repeatedly. If a fight is too annoying, the game will trigger a pretend you won option to skip the fight in exchange for a small impact to your overall mission score. Death Stranding 2 is populated by a ton of survivors, many with familiar faces, and if you make enough deliveries to them, they might give you some unique items. The data scientist, who is a famous VTuber named Usada Pecora, will give you a bunny hood that makes Sam say Pecco after each sentence, similar to Pecora's verbal tick. Pecco.
Pecora! Thanks, Pecco.
The Pecco hood is only one of a variety of hoods and hats you can earn in Death Stranding 2 that give Sam unique abilities. The camel hood will protect Sam from the heat of the desert and refill his water for stamina. The seal hood returns, which lets Sam safely float across rivers. One gooey-looking chiral rod in had will even ward away chiral creatures. Shelters house different survivors, and depending on their real-life counterpart, will have little nods to their identities. The adventurer and his son are played by RRR director SS Rajamouli and SS Karthikeya, for example. Their holograms outside their shelter has them doing iconic poses from their hit film. Another shelter in Australia is an animal sanctuary overseen by members of a conservationist group. If you rescue animals and send them to the sanctuary, the group will send you social media pics of the animals living happily in their new home. It's worth noting that Churches has very strong ties with Death Stranding, writing and singing the main theme for the first game. Speaking of animals, you have to be careful when traveling because you can accidentally run over and kill these poor creatures if you're not paying attention, which is one way to earn dislikes in the world of Death Stranding 2. While a lot of what you do in the world will get you likes from your fellow porters and shelter dwellers, there are a few ways to have likes taken away, and accidental animal killing is one of them, even though they sometimes dart right in front of your vehicle. There are also a ton of scares in Death Stranding 2. During certain times, Sam will get nightmares while sleeping aboard the DHV Magellan, which triggers some frankly terrifying cutscenes. There are scares out in the world as well. One mission from the Ghost Hunter revolves around a ghost track haunted by headless bikers. Find them and you'll trigger a unique boss fight. It's not all scares and monsters though. There are plenty of pleasant experiences to be found aboard the DHV Magellan and elsewhere. On the ship, one crewmate, Rainey, will give Sam intermittent trivia quizzes with some special prizes for getting the correct answer. Dollman, who hangs out with you in your cabin, will not only talk to you whenever you want, but playing the song Horizon Dreamer while chatting triggers a fun dance from him. Dollman frequently encourages Sam to read the books found in his room aboard the Magellan. If you pick up a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Dollman will mention a movie about the writer starring Elle Fanning, tomorrow's voice and motion capture actor. The pizza chef, who is a fountain of many little surprises, will eventually make Sam a Pac-Man-shaped pizza that, once eaten, turns Sam's world map into a minigame of the Atari Classic. One very special item you can receive is an instant camera that unlocks a unique photo mode. Unlike the default photo mode, this camera can only be used aboard the Magellan and can be used to take photos of Fragile, Tomorrow, and Rainy. These photos can be given to crewmates or used to decorate your room, and the photos you take yourself will even appear in a cutscene toward the end of the game.
And I know they'll be back again today.
And those are our favorite details and hidden Easter eggs we've come across in Death Stranding 2 so far. Check out our full Death Stranding 2 review on why we can't get enough of Hideo Kojima's latest game, and check out our Ending Explained for a breakdown of the game's grand finale. We also have an updated ranking of every game Hideo Kojima has directed and designed, so you can see where Death Stranding 2 fits alongside his other games. For more of the world of Death Stranding 2, make sure to stay connected with IGN.